Hey, help me understand this. Are Catholic teachers sometimes separated from the normal person when it comes to cursing? Do they hold themselves in a higher regard than those who do? Are the people who believe cursing shows bad taste actually judging others? Or is the distaste for cursing coming from an internal value and not necessarily a clear biblical teaching? I'm going to discuss this today and, of course, share my thoughts on how some might be missing the mark on it. Welcome to the Struggling Catholic, a place where I ask tough questions about our faith. If this is something that interests you, please like and subscribe. Why does it seem like whenever a priest, theologian, or YouTube scholar talks about cursing, it sounds like they're looking down on someone? Almost like the concept of people cursing regularly is foreign to them. Not the words itself, but the fact that people actually talk that way as part of everyday life. Because for many people, cursing is part of their culture. It's part of their dialect. Now, when I talk about cursing and cussing, I know that some people make a distinction between the two. So for me, I look at it like this. First, saying God's name in vain is never okay, period. Second, cursing at someone out of anger or wishing harm to them, also not okay. And third, your audience. Are you offending someone or influencing them in a negative way? That's not okay either. So for the purpose of this video, I'm not talking about any of those three. What I'm talking about are the people who cuss as part of normal conversation. They say the word poop. They say the word that's for hell. They say the word for a female dog, for a child whose parents aren't married, and even the big F word. I think it's easy for someone to become so separated from everyday environment that they don't really understand this. And that's what I think is happening when I hear statements like something Trent Horton once said, that Christians who use excessive profanity are like junior high kids who smoke or vape and just trying to look cool. Now listen, Trent Horn is very educated, and I agree with most of the things he says. But statements like that prove my point. They show how out of touch some Catholic influencers may be with the regular person. Not to mention, it can come across as judgmental, even a little holier than thou. And I don't think that was his intent at all. What I think is that in his world, the world he's probably lived in for a very long time, he's surrounded by environments where cussing is simply looked down upon. Like cursing in church, you don't do it. Or making an off-putting remark in a room full of professional women, probably not something you'd do. But I can tell you this, in many years in law enforcement, probably 95% of the people I worked with cussed regularly. When I worked in social services, surrounded by college-educated professionals, most of them cussed too. And outside of that, I've been around people in the oil field, the pipelines, trucking, construction, railroad, security, and the military. And in all those environments, cussing is just part of everyday conversation. It's simply how people talk. Now, many might disagree with this, but the days of raising kids where dad never cusses are almost gone. Culture has changed. Today, dad doesn't hide it. It just shows how he talks. his buddies come over and they talk the same way. Even moms cuss nowadays. That may not be the culture you grew up in, or even I, but it is the culture many people live in now. And that doesn't automatically make someone a bad person or less of a Christian. Let's talk about the F word now. The big F-bomb. You'll hear people like Father Mike Schmitz say that if you're using a word that refers to something holy, then it is sinful. And again, Father Mike is someone I really, really like. But honestly, what environment is he in? He's not in an environment where people cuss routinely. So when he hears the F word, he's probably thinks that it's referring to the sexual act. But I hear that word almost every day, and I can promise you 99.9% of the time it's not referring to a sexual act at all. Most of the time it's used as a verb, meaning something is messed up, or as an interjection expressing shock or disbelief. So my question is this: when leaders like Trent Horn and Father Mike, who represent Catholic teaching for many people, talk about cussing, are they out of touch with the everyday Catholic? Or are they actually on point? Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching. Until next time, may God bless you and yours.